Good afternoon from Las Vegas. Getting ready for the press conference for David Benavidez and Zurdo Ramirez. I'm Beto Duran, your host. Thank you for joining us wherever you may be around the world as an exciting night of boxing is going to happen on Cinco de Mayo weekend here in Las Vegas. Undefeated two-division world champion David El Monstro Benavidez and unified WBA and WBO Cruiserweight world champion Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez will headline Cinco de Mayo weekend in Vegas in an all-Mexican showdown. Let's give a round of applause for everybody that's here today. Now, this matchup is special because it's the first of a Mexico versus Mexico showdown pitted with two cruiserweights against each other in a world title clash in one of the sport's premier weekends. It's going to happen Saturday, May 2nd, headlining a PBC Pay-Per-View event available on Prime Video. And it's going to happen at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Pre-sale tickets for the live event are available this Tuesday, the 24th, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific through AXS.com with the codes PBC or GBP. Now, the public on sale begins Wednesday, February 25th at 10 a.m. on AXS.com. It's promoted by Samson Boxing and Golden Boy Promotions in association with TGB Promotions, and it's sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Right now, I'm going to bring up everybody. We're going to hear from the fighters. We're going to hear from the promoters, hear from everybody. And, of course, thanks to all the members of the media. They're here for this press conference this Saturday afternoon here in Las Vegas. First to the podium, let's bring up the man from Samson Boxing behind David Benavidez, Samson Lukowitz.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is a really special Cinco de Mayo. But first of all, before even I start, I want to say thank you to Golden Boy and PBC to United to have a great show and many more in the future, because boxing is start to change. And that change, it cannot change 100 years like is boxing. And so we're waiting for more promoters to enjoy us and bring the best of Cinco de Mayo in the future. As you know, PBC have great fights like Tyson and Donante William Wilder on number 3, Maidana versus Bronner, Lara versus Hart, Leo Santa Cruz versus Frampton, and definitely one of the best ever of bleeding fight with Fundora versus Tim Tszyu. Sebastian Fundora, it be short too. Well, now that is PBC that you bring to the public one of the best and shows that money can buy. Benavidez decided to get his own way to the crown, to the best, and to be part of the best of the best. And he decided to have his way and not to wait any longer for any challenger or champion that he want to face him. So I want to say thank you to my dear friend, Zurdo Ramirez. I know him from almost Bloody View in Mexico. So this is the fight. And doesn't care about the weight, if we have extra weight or not. We grow up to be a big man. But I need to see that myself, and I will pay, if I'm not involved in this business, to see two Mexicans for the first time in the Cruiserweight division on the Cinco de Mayo. So with that in mind, I want to say thank you to all of you. And it be an unbelievable night. We call him Puro Mexico. Puro Mexico, it be there too. Only Mexicans and the best Mexicans will be seeing an excellent, extraordinary undercard. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Samson. as always, involved, looking sharp as always. Right now, let's bring up to the podium the chairman and CEO, the Hall of Famer of Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar De La Hoya.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Samson, for those kind words. You're a gentleman and a scholar. I'm really excited about Cinco de Mayo weekend this year. Traditionally, you've had great fighters like Julio Cesar Chavez, myself. You've had the likes of Canelo Alvarez fighting on this big weekend. But the fact that two Mexicans are fighting in the main event for the belts, for the world title belts, is going to be extra special. And let me tell you why, because for the first time, you're having a fighter who was the very first super middleweight Mexican world champion and the very first cruiserweight Mexican world champion up against the monster, Benavidez, who we know what he brings to the table. He brings everything to the table from round 1 to round 12. So I expect this fight to be a war, a classic war, a Mexican classic war. And that's what fight fans want to see. They want to be involved with a great historical event. They don't want to see somebody walk, just throwing 2-3 punches around, or, they want to see an exciting event. And this is exactly what Zurdo and Benavidez is bringing to the table. I want to thank, I want to thank Al Heyman. When I talked to him over the phone and we were making this event, obviously Samson Lajkovic had everything to do with it. We and Tom Brown had everything to do with it as well. We were talking about how we can make Cinco de Mayo not only historical, but an event that the world will never, ever forget. So we're excited to talk about, with Tom, to talk about the undercard. I mean, we have a great main event, but wait for the undercard. It will be special. Fighters from Golden Boy's roster, fighters from PBC's roster, we're coming together and making the very best fights happen for the fans. So, I mean, between both guys, imagine 55 knockouts. So don't tell me they're going to box around and, bore the crowd. No, they're going to put on a great, great show, because these two guys here, yes, they're technicians, but they're fighters. And the pressure is on. I don't mean to put the pressure on you guys, but the pressure is on. Cinco de Mayo is a date where people expect fireworks, and that's exactly what we will get. So once again, I am extremely proud to be passing on, and I say that with great pride and honor. I feel very proud to be passing on that torch, the torch that Chavez passed to me, the torch that I passed to Canelo, and the torch that Canelo is now passing on to Benavidez and Zurdo. So thank you very much. We'll see you Cinco de Mayo, the second Cinco de Mayo weekend. This will be an incredible event. Thank you, PBC. We appreciate you. Thank you. Ahora, para toda la prensa en español, gracias por todo el apoyo, y estamos muy contentos, muy felices, muy agradecidos por Zurdo y por Benavidez. Obviamente la fecha de 5 de mayo es una fecha muy importante para el boxeo mexicano. Yo creo que por primera vez en la historia del boxeo tenemos a 2 mexicanos peleando en esta fecha. Si me recuerdo bien, no estoy muy seguro, pero creo que sí, en esta división. Yo creo que el hecho de que va a ser por un campeonato mundial va a ser más especial, pero lo más especial de esta cartelera, de este evento, es el undercard. No puedo esperar hablar con Tom Brown, con Eric Gómez y poner una cartelera increíble, inolvidable para todos los fans de todo el mundo, porque esta fecha, el 5 de mayo, todo el mundo piensa que 5 de mayo, sí, vamos a tomar y vamos a chupar y vamos a entretenerlos, ¿no? Pero lo que vamos a hacer es quedar entretenidos por una gran pelea como esta, Zurdo, Ramirez y Benavidez. Así que gracias PBC, gracias Tom Brown, gracias Samson, gracias a Benavidez, gracias Zurdo por darnos esta gran noche de boxeo el 2 de mayo. Gracias.
You're right, Oscar. There's going to be a lot of beer drinking that weekend, especially with Zurdo and the monster Benavidez over here. Right now, let's bring up to the podium the man who is his father, his trainer. When they started, it was just them, the family, his brother Jose also. And I remember watching them going into the gyms. They didn't have much, and he built himself a champion. Right now, Jose Benavidez Sr.
Bueno, primeramente le quiero dar las gracias a Dios por permitirme estar aquí en este evento grandísimo, que es un día muy especial. Le quiero dar las gracias también a toda la prensa, a todos los medios de comunicación, a Oscar de la Hoya, a Al Heyman, Luis de Cubas, Samson, al equipo de Zurdo Ramírez, muy buenos amigos, y va a ser una pelea explosiva, una pelea muy entretenida para toda la gente. También le quiero agradecer a toda mi gente mexicana por todo ese apoyo, por todo el amor que nos han brindado, y muy contentos. Poco a poco vamos demostrando, David Benavidez va demostrando lo que es el monstruo mexicano. Entonces quiero invitar a toda la gente para que este 2 de mayo estén presentes para una nueva era, la era del monstruo mexicano, David Benavidez. Esos días aquí en Las Vegas son muy importantes, hay 2 días muy importantes, y poco a poco nos vamos a apoderar de esas fechas. Tenemos a un peleador aquí, Zurdo Ramírez, un peleador que estuvimos en campamento como por 3 años, trabajando juntos, haciendo mucho sparring, un peleador buenísimo, campeón 2 veces, y ahora en los cruceros con dos campeonatos. Va a ser una guerra, y creo yo que la gente va a estar entretenida, pero creo yo que David Benavidez tiene todo para hacer la cara al boxeo. Y en esta pelea, David Benavidez no nomás tiene que ganar, tiene que lucir espectacular como siempre lo hace, para poder enfrentar a esos otros peleadores peligrosos que vienen siendo Beterbiev, Bivol, y la lista sigue, ¿no? Entonces David Benavidez se está preparando muy fuerte, está muy enfocado, tiene a su familia a su lado que lo apoyan, y pues va a ser muy difícil para que alguien le gane, ¿no? Entonces, como te digo, sin ofender al Zurdo, quiero darle las gracias por la oportunidad que nos dio para pelear por sus títulos, pero el 2 de mayo vamos a hacer algo espectacular. No se lo pueden perder. Los esperamos el 5 de mayo weekend. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Senior. Well said, right there. A lot of respect between these two fighters. Right now, to the stage, 48-1, 30 KOs, the reigning WBA and WBO Cruiserweight champion from Sinaloa, Mexico, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez.
Hola, ¿qué tal a todos? Estoy muy contento de estar aquí. Quiero pues agradecer a todo el equipo de Benavidez, a mi equipo, a todos los que hacen posible esto. Creo que va a ser una excelente pelea, ya que hemos hecho sparring, nos conocemos bastante. De hecho, me ayudó mucho para pelear por mi primer campeonato. Él fue el que me ayudó para el sparring. Y la verdad, pues estoy contento porque pues es lo que se merece el boxeo, este tipo de peleas que se hagan, de este tipo de combates son los que sobresalen, y es lo que mantiene vivo al deporte del boxeo también. Muchas gracias a todos. Thank you everyone to be here. Thank you for making everything possible. And I'm so glad to be here to make a huge fight for this May 2nd. And I want to say, don't miss the fight. And Benavidez, his team, he helped me a lot for my first fight, world title fight. And I know him, we know each other, but I think it will be an exciting, super exciting fight. Pero Zurdo Ramírez, se va a quedar con los títulos. Gracias.
Zurdo Ramirez will stay with the titles. That's what you're saying right there. You see Zurdo, and you'll see this man, his trainer with him at Brickhouse Boxing, Julian Chua. It's right there with him all the time. The man who's led him to the titles. Bring to the stage now, Julian.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. I just want to say thank you to all the teams, Oscar, all the promotions, and I mean, I can't say how much of an honor it is to be fighting and being a part of Cinco de Mayo weekend. You know, Mexican boxing, the heritage of it, everything. It's a huge part of the sport. It built the sport, you know. So it's just an honor to be a part of this event. Man, what can I say about this fight? You know, neither team, we're not really big into talking, and there's not going to be a need for that, because I got to see this sparring up close, and this is just sparring. This isn't the real fight, and those rounds were all pay-per-view worthy. There wasn't a single one that wasn't. And now you layer on that it's a real fight, the competitive nature that brought them both to where they're at today, at its peak form, will be there. So, I mean, like I said, man, I don't need to say much about this fight. It's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be a great war. Much respect to David, his team. I love Zurdo, and I just want us to put on a fantastic show. I don't feel like there will be pressure on this to be a great fight, because just how they are, it's gonna be one. You know, I just want both parties to end the fight healthy, and you know, may the best man win. But you know, we believe it's gonna be Zurdo Ramirez. Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. Been working out, huh, Buff? You too, bro. También, Benavidez, like, I mean, everybody's getting after it this fight. All right, right now, they call him the Mexican Monster. If you've heard the story about David Benavidez when he was 14 years old, he was the big chubby kid. They thought he was a heavyweight. It was like, he's not the fighter. He's not going to be the champion. None of this. And look what he's become right now. With a record of 31-0, 25 KOs, the reigning WBC and WBA light heavyweight world champion. And he's ready to talk right now, so I'm going to get out of the way. The Mexican Monster, David Benavidez.
Hola a todos, le quiero decir buen día. Primeramente le quiero dar las gracias a Dios, porque sin Él nada es posible. Le quiero dar las gracias a todo mi equipo, todos los promotores, Samson Lukowitz, Golden Boy, Al Heyman, Luis Secubas Jr. y también a mi abogado David García. Me siento bien, me siento muy motivado para esta pelea. Yo ya sé que Zurdo va a venir listo, pero yo estoy listo también. Vamos a dejar todo en el ring, Mayo segundo. Pero le quiero decir al Zurdo también que disfrute de sus títulos, porque se van a ir conmigo en Mayo segundo. I just want to tell everybody, good morning. How's everybody doing? I want to give a thanks to all the promoters, Samson Lukowitz, Golden Boy Promotions, Al Heyman, Luis Secubas Jr., my father, Jose Benavidez, my lawyer, David Garcia, my wife, my kids, you know, everybody on my team. I'm very excited. This is something I've been working for a long, long time, and I feel like me and Zurdo owe it to each other, because we had so much great sparring sessions that were championship, pay-per-view worthy rounds. And I think I even told him one day, I'm like, we're gonna have to do this pay-per-view, and we're going for 2 titles, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, and I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for Zurdo giving me this opportunity, and also I'm grateful for Oscar De La Hoya, because we had talked about this like 2 years ago. We were trying to make this happen, so I'm very excited. We're here making this happen, so let's go get it. See you guys May 2nd.
Thank you, David. Now, it was about more than 10 years ago, you were a teenager. You would go to the Rock Gym. You were training at Hill Street in Long Beach. Every now and then you'd go to the gym in Carson. And Zurdo was training there with his former team. He'd walk in. And I remember Randy Robles telling me, Betha, eventually one day those two are going to get at it. I'm like, but man, they're not the same size. He goes, oh, they will be one day. I can't believe we're here at the Cruiserweight division. But you hear them both talk about it. We've all seen the pictures of them sparring. And like, sparring is sparring. But David, you knew eventually that one day this was going to happen. Why did you know it was going to happen?
Because he's a top fighter. He's a great fighter as well. And I just seen into the future. I was helping him get ready for Arthur Abraham. And we had some great sparring sessions. He was champion for a while. Then he went up to 175. Then he went up to Cruiserweight. So I knew Zurdo was going to be one of those fighters that's going to be there for a long, long time. He's only had one loss against Bivol. So I knew eventually we're going to do this. I didn't think we were going to do it in Cruiserweight. But shit, it's even better for me. I'm very excited. I think a fight at Cruiserweight between me and Zurdo Ramirez is going to be, we're going to be able to showcase both of our talents. We're going to be able to show it. Like, we're not going to be wagering and nothing like that. So it's going to be an even better fight. So I'm very excited.
Why move up to Cruiserweight?
Because there was nothing else for me at 175 right now. I could have sat down and waited on the sidelines and wait for Bivol to have his tune-up and then another fight. But like I said, I'm not interested in that. I've been professional 13 years. I've been wanting to get the biggest title, the biggest fights possible. I've been denied a couple times. This was the other biggest fight on the map. Zurdo accepted it like that. So big shout out to him. I'm just, like I said, I want to make my own lane. I want to achieve greatness, and this is the only way to do it.
So all those years of sparring, and you saw him when he was a teenager growing up. You might have said, okay, one day maybe, but did you think that this fight would happen?
I knew that it will happen eventually, and right now is the dream come true because all the sparring, all the session that we did, and we knew each other. We knew that one day we will fight, and this is the right moment, like he said, because 200 will not be a cutting weight or nothing. It be like natural, like those days in sparring.
One thing about it, as Oscar's talked about, Samson's talked about, the Cinco de Mayo weekend is special. I know, David, for you want to have that legacy, but there's something special about fighting that weekend. How important is it for you to put on that show?
It's very important for me because, for the whole history of the Cinco de Mayo fights, has been tremendous fighters like Oscar, Julio Cesar Chavez, putting on great fights. Not only just great fights, there were wars because there were paired up fights. They didn't take no easy fights. So I think this is symbolically, this is what it symbolizes. May 5th symbolizes two warriors, and now it's even more special because it's two Mexican warriors going at it for a title. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm at the cusp of taking the face of boxing, and Zurdo Ramirez, he's if he beats me, his stock goes up. So there's greatness on the other side of that tunnel for both of us. So we're going to come extremely prepared.
So for you, fighting that week, you fought all over the world. You've had some big fights, but this one is special because it's fighting David Benavidez, isn't it?
Yeah, he's the monster. Before I call him the different, del asesino, because I saw him when he sparred different guys. He beat him all the time, and I was like, okay, it be a good fight eventually one day. And right now, at the May 5th, La Batalla de Puebla, two warriors, we're making history.
Oscar, we see it in the current state of boxing right now, and in the past was nobody wanted to cross the street. Nobody wanted to work with other promoters. You wanted to keep it in-house. Now you thank Al Heyman, you thank Tom, you thank Samson. And it's better if promoters work together. Why was it important for you to make sure this happens?
No, that's what Golden Boy has always been about, is working with other promoters, and right from the start. And like I said, I've worked with Bob, I've worked with Al, I've worked with everybody in the game to make the best fights happen. And one thing that I'm really proud of, I believe this is a first for Golden Boy, is the fact that we're going to be on Prime. I mean, that's going to be something really, really special. Have you seen Prime's production? Yeah. Prime's production is probably the best production in boxing today. It's incredible. It's amazing when you watch Prime, and you're watching these great fights that TGB put together and that Samson put together and Al Heyman and PBC. I'm watching those fights and I'm intrigued by the production, the value of the production. That's one thing. But this fight here on May 2nd, look, there's no trash talking. There's no pushing and this and that. No, they're going to do that inside the ring. Mark my words. And guys, don't forget about the pressure. But the pressure to fight hard. That's why I love Cinco de Mayo weekend, because every fighter that fights on Cinco de Mayo, they know they have to fight hard. They know that the fans are expecting a war inside the ring, and you couldn't have two better guys than Zurdo and Benavidez.
Well, when you're throwing that fight party, you're going to get mad. The dealers are going to get mad if nobody's fighting, right? And that'll be May 2nd, a PBC pay-per-view event available on Prime Video. For David, this is a fight between two fighters that have a lot of respect for each other. You guys known each other for a while. First, neither of you are trash talkers. You're very honest with the public. You're honest with the media. But when you get into the ring, obviously it's different. Why do you have an advantage on May 2nd?
Well, I mean, I could say I have an advantage. Zurdo's going to say he has an advantage over me, but I'm just going to say how it is. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to leave everything on the ring. I'm training extremely hard. My conditioning, my stamina, everything. You know, I'm not leaving nothing to the side. I'm making sure I'm working even harder and putting extra reps in anything and everything I do this camp. And that's just the way I fight. You know what I mean? I'm gonna leave everything out on the ring. You know, I don't want to just. I want to earn, you know, the fans' respect, and I want to go in there and put on a great fight, and I want to leave all the fans amazed by when they leave that fight. I want them to be, you know, I want them to be amazed at the fight, the whole card and the whole event. You know, that's what we're going for. We're going to leave everything on the ring.
Samson, you saw this young man and you signed him. What did you see about him when you said, I want him to work with me?
Well, in this case, it was not really only me. He went to spar in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, and I have the Jackson brothers, and he beat the shit out of him. So Tony from Virgin Islands said, listen, we need to take this kid. I say, look, I know you for so long, but I have trust on you. I used to do a lot in the Virgin Islands. So I spoke with Jose, and we come to an agreement, but I never saw him before. But in the first time, then I make my, you know, I work my secret, how to get the best. And until now, I believe I didn't make a mistake, because the first fight, it was in Showtime. I say that we have a future champion in 168, and I promised to him that he'd be the youngest one. Now, in the beginning of his career, in the first fight, he told me, let's do it 175 pounds. You remember?
It was 180.
180.
I told you 180.
So he called me up, he said, the lawyer, our friend David Garcia, he said, can we make the fight 185? I said, no, I just canceled the show. I just canceled the fight. You need to come and do whatever you agree with. He come less of that. And I believe that is the reason that he followed my lead for so many years, that he be almost 10 years together. And he went to 168. He said, no, 75. I can go to 60. I know that. And I'm so proud of him and the father and the whole family, because we accomplished so much in such short time that I'm so proud and hope that it will continue forever.
Every fighter has a journey. It's a great story there, Samson, finding where he's at. For you, Zurdo, when you came from Sinaloa, you were with a different team. You connected with Brickhouse and Julian Chua. They've made you a champion. Why is this bond that you have so special?
Because it's May 5th, La Batalla de Puebla, and two warriors. I mean, I just want to be my own too. I want to be the best, and I want to fight with the best. I know he's one of the best, and I just want to give to really exciting fight to those people that they love this sport like me, boxing, and I just want to fight him because he's the best, and what I gained to in this sport, because I try to recognize myself to be the best, and then I had to fight with the best.
And the belts stay with you?
Yes, stay with me.
You're taking the belts?
They're coming home with me.
They're going with Benavidez or they're going with Zurdo. Let's get a face-off between these two. Round of applause for David and Monstro Benavidez and Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. We'll do the face-off here. Play, medias keep down because we got cameras behind you guys. Again, the fight, May 2nd, headlining a PBC pay-per-view event available on Prime Video from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Pre-sale tickets for this live event available Tuesday, the 24th at 10 a.m. Available on AXS.com. Again, this is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Promoted by Samson Boxing and Golden Boy Promotions in association with TGB Promotions. Cinco de Mayo weekend, May 2nd. You will see the WBA, WBO Cruiserweight World Champion Zurdo Ramirez against El Monstro David Benavidez moving up to the Cruiserweight division. A fight that's been brewing for years. They've known each other for